Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt.
Hi, it's Zebra1975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Xbox One. And this video is going to go into salty dumpster fire territory, so please click away if you're not interested in that sort of thing. This is me on my first night back at the CG. I immediately get attacked by IED, and I didn't even deploy my hard points. And the two times they interdicted me, I just basically sat there for a bit and then high-waked. I have no interest in 4v1s, honestly don't. And I couldn't rally together anyone that really wanted to be bothered to fight IED, because people just aren't interested. It's just not fun. Now, this video is going to go into territory that's quite horrible, so I apologise. I'm going to try and keep it as light as possible. If you're aware of any of the names involved, please don't use them in the comments down below. I've removed all the names for a reason. I'm keeping this anonymous, and please keep yourselves respectful in the comments down below. Now, I made a bunch of videos about IED back when the war started between 7th and IED. Now, as you can see from the description on that video, I'm making it very clear that it's in-game only, and I like most of IED, and I like the fun cops and robbers stuff. In fact, the videos were very much only focused on in-game activities. Basically, I called out IED for a few in-game things. I mean, there was nothing particularly major. There was certainly no personal attacks, nothing that I thought was massively salacious or crazy. I didn't expect the massive amount of backlash that I suddenly found myself getting. Suddenly there was rumours flying around and people telling me that I was a toxic, lying, hate-filled person spreading hate across the internet. And it was like, oh really? Okay. I think a lot of it was conflated and people were blaming me for stuff other people were doing or other people were saying. There was also a lot of false information being put out. There was an awful lot of false information being put out because there was nothing in the videos that I made that I couldn't evidence apart from one thing. Everything else I had evidence for because I like to be prepared and I only like to throw out facts. I didn't put in a lot of crazy stuff that I hear about IED because it would have been conjecture and would have been lies. The only thing that I put in that I didn't have written evidence for was the fact that IED used a bot to search their kill on sight list, which I thought was a very small point, and like 4 people had confirmed it, so it was reasonably evidence even though I didn't have it in writing, which everything else I mentioned I had evidence of in writing, like direct comments, direct quotes from IED members, and screenshots for everything, because I expected a little bit of pushback, for sure, because there are some very salty people over there. But yeah, I was shocked at the levels of abuse. And what even shocked me even more is the fact that this then spiraled and carried on and carried on. And this kind of like semi-hate campaign has been trundling on since September, with people putting out statements on Discord and Facebook. Someone's even gone around and had little conversations with people who I know in game or know in passing, and I've had people come up to me like I haven't spoken to for like 2 years and go, oh yeah, so and so had a little chat with me, apparently you did this, that and the other, and it's like, really? Did I? That's interesting. And then you get these poor people. I mean, about once a month or maybe twice a month I get someone come at me making weird and wonderful accusations, parroting the hatred and the stuff that's been put out about me. They're usually people who like to get on their high horse and feel like they're white knighting, heroically taking on this pathological, lying, hate-mongering, scumbag, toxic git. And this person's off with it, straight in with the fact I'm apparently the biggest keyboard warrior in the game. I don't know that one. And apparently I declare victimhood that I'm dyslexic and stuff, and say I'm dyslexic, don't bully me. They make all sorts of claims and accusations, claiming they've got screenshots that I'm lying and hate-filled. I don't know. It's absolutely crazy. My favourite line is the "you dug your own grave long ago." Now, I don't include all of the footage because I've left out some stuff because it would give away who the person is. I've also haven't got time to go through every message that was traded backwards and forwards over the many hours across a couple of days. But, you know, this person had really brought in hook, line, sinker, copy of Angling Times to the lies spread about me. And they were definitely parroting most of the things that people say. I love so apparently I said, stop bullying me because I'm dyslexic. When I looked back, this is what I'd actually said. To be honest, I am done. I'm dyslexic and I don't have time for this. That's slightly different. But hey, you do you. If you feel that's an honest representation, and that's me saying I'm dyslexic, don't bully me, you go for it. I mean, the person twists and turns on a dime. I say to them, like, you're the one ranting and swearing, and they come back and me, I haven't sworn at you. It's like, well, I didn't say that. I also offered them the chance to come and talk to me in person, in party chat, which surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, they refuse. It's amazing. None of these people ever do want to actually just come and have a conversation, like an adult. You know, they're parroting stuff. They're getting really angry about stuff. They're being really salty, incredulous, and crazy. But, you know, actually take up the offer to have a pleasant conversation? No thanks. So, yeah, so as I said, they said they had screenshots of me admitting I dabble in the less than honest path. Yeah, that's probably me saying jokingly that I'm a propaganda officer, and that some of the stuff I said was for obvious propaganda reasons. You know, the whole point was it was supposed to be fun videos about a roleplay war between good guys and bad guys, or, well, actually between mercenaries and policemen, over the killing of AX ships. I got involved as a pirate. I thought it'd be fun, engaging, player versus player driven content. Had I known at the start that it was going to be as much hassle as it was, and that, you know, 8 months later I'd still be dealing with the fallout from all the lies and hatred put out about me, I obviously wouldn't have got involved. Because while it's hilarious, it's also annoying. Though it is absolutely hilarious. So, you know, I point out that this person's lying and twisting and saying things, and happy to wreck other people's reputation, but saying stuff like he's big on respect. I'll give you a clue. It's always a clean giveaway. If they say they're big on respect, it means they have no respect for you whatsoever. So, you know, apparently I'm victim hooding and I have this victim mentality. It's like, okay, can I have evidence? Just send me screenshots. This is all I ever do, is ask for evidence or ask questions. That's my two ways of dealing with these people, because it all falls down eventually. So then we go from he's going to provide screenshots to he's going to arrange for me to have a conversation with a member of IED's leadership, and that member of IED's leadership is going to give me some insights into me being a pathological, lying, keyboard warrioring, toxic scumbag who plays victimhood and says, I'm dyslexic, don't bully me. Don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm like, okay, fair enough, I'll have the conversation with the person. Maybe they can actually have a conversation. Now, this conversation had gone on ages. It had gone backwards and forwards loads. I have cut a lot of it out, but it was ridiculous. I mean, he really got up on his high horse. This was a hill he was going to die on. He was absolutely adamant. He definitely was in the right. Definitely had but the person from IED has said that I may have been misrepresented, so he apologises if that's been the case. I do love the really pathetically weak, half-assed apology in private, but let's leave the statements up in public. In fact, as of today, they're still there on YouTube where they originally was, and Scooby's had no apology whatsoever. So yeah, It's embarrassing when someone climbs up on their high horse and gets all justifiably angry because they've listened to a bunch of lies that someone spread about you. It's embarrassing for them, it's embarrassing for me, you know, and yes, I do have a focus on evidence because I know there is no evidence. That's why I focus on evidence and ask questions, because these lies about me that have been spread by people who are really ridiculously salty over something in a video game are just really funny. It is ridiculous that in May 2021 I'm still dealing with the fallout from lies and hatred. I love the people that are spreading these lies and hatred coming at me saying how I'm obsessed with things when they've been spreading lies and hatred for 8 months. When all I've been doing is just getting on with things. It is frankly embarrassing. I've sent every single one of these people a message saying they're free to come and talk to me, but oddly enough, not one single one of them has had the stones to actually take up that opportunity and come and have an actual conversation with me. It's embarrassing. It is. I feel sorry for the person taken in, which is why I've removed their name, and also it's because it could have been one of a dozen people. This has happened so often, and it's always the same. They get left with egg on their face, or just embarrassed because I keep asking questions that they cannot answer. But I've had other messages. I'm going to post some of my personal favourite ones. I did love this one. This one was when I asked someone like proof that I was a lying narcissist. They went with the "you know what you've done" approach, which just means I have no proof whatsoever. Get on the naughty step. I'm sure you've done something wrong, but I have no idea. And the fact that I'd offered to apologise if I'd caused any offence, and then they were still calling me a narcissist. If I was a narcissist, I wouldn't be offering to apologise. But then if you understood what a narcissist was, I don't think you'd be sending me these messages. I think it was just word of the day. This one's pretty embarrassing and cringy. The one I've got coming up in a bit is actually the most nasty, horrible guilt trip I think I've ever been sent over anything in a video game. It is like properly unpleasant, and honestly, if they honestly genuinely believe that about me, then they would have just blocked me long ago. I honestly genuinely believe anyone who knows me just even in passing would not recognise the person they're trying to make out that I am. It's just absolute insanity. The double standards are amazing. The fact that I'm a pathological liar, but people who've lied about me for 8 months, that's just misrepresentation. Some of the twisting of events, some of the alterations in timelines, some of the stuff that's really easy to evidence and debunk is just really, really funny. There was one recently where someone was told that Mr. War's statement about if you don't like it playing solo was made as a response to me and I was the cause of that, when that was posted before I was even involved. That had nothing to do with me. I think a lot of it was stuff that was posted at the time that I made got conflated with other things going on, stuff happening on Facebook. Especially there was a lot of arguments on Facebook. I mean, at the time I wasn't even active on Discord when this all kicked off. I had Discord, but I never used it. And I actually only took to Discord to defend myself against repeated accusations that I was a lying, toxic scumbag, which, then that became a whole thing, because, the only time I've ever made any personal attacks in my videos is when I've had to call someone out for lying about me. Which by definition is a personal attack against them because I'm calling them a liar. But here we go. So this was the one. This is definitely the worst guilt trip I think I've ever had laid on me. This was the classic example though, when I asked what video and offered to apologise. The response was doubling down and even worse. I mean, I don't recognise myself in this statement at all, but hey, that's what I get. But don't worry, it's just me playing victim. I haven't been doxxed, abused, sent death threats, had my missus stalked on Facebook or any of that stuff. Oh, and also I lied about having depression apparently. If you don't like the heat, get out of the kitchen. All things I've been told over the last few months. I would love to know what you would do if you were in my shoes. And that's honestly where I'm going to leave it and say that's all. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And let me know what you'd do if you were in my position.